So guys, this is gold. Last week we did not trade that much, and I gave out a signal on unemployment claims on Thursday, and it moved on well, made some profit. For those who traded, they made some profit. And if you knew on when to exceed the market, you could have made them a good profit on that day. So this week again, we are going to trade unemployment claims on Thursday. So what I will advise you, it's good, go ahead and open two accounts. One account you are going to trade on news only, and the other account you are just trading on normal days. So that way you'll spread your risk. So one account you are going to trade on only news, and the other account you are going just to trade on normal days without news. So it will be good that way. You will spread your risk and you won't blow your account if your news goes away. It goes against you. Are going against our way. And when you are trading on news, don't expose all your capital there. Just use $50 because news moves very fast. Just use $50, depending. Use minimum amount which you are confident and which you are comfortable with. So have a different account for trading news and a different account for trading normal days. So here we are having gold. This is for our time frame. We look on daily. So we can see that gold try to sweep this liquidity up here. This is on a daily time frame. So it swept that liquidity. So it's trying to move down. And if you can see, here, it's trying to make lower low. So you can see here we have we are having lower low. So we have this breakout right here. So we are having lower low. So these are clear indication that the market is trying to drop. And if you just try to look at this candle, these are some of the symbol tools you are supposed to look at. Yeah, if you look at this candle, these are momentum candles. So it's a clear indication that the market is having a strong momentum in a downside. So I will go ahead and add EMA 50 because EMA 50 usually it gives us the direction, you know where the trend is. So we are going to use EMA 50 exponential. For those who don't know on my settings for EMA 50, so we have exponential. The period is 50. Method is exponential. Apply to close. Then style, you can use any color you want, and then that's it. So EMA 50. So on this candle right here, the daily candle, we can just mark the highest at this point right here, and then we can mark the lowest. So if you mark these two, you are going to take them, you are going to wait for this one, for these two to be broken. So if this one, the highest is going to be broken, then we are going to move, the market is going to move to the next zone. If the bottom one is going to be broken, that's the breakout structure, it's going to move to the next zone. But at the moment right now, I want you, when you are doing the analysis, just look for the daily candle. Just mark it that way. Then we go to 1 hour time frame. So in 1 hour time frame, we'll just look at our markings. So we have this one down here. This is my first marking. It was right here. And then we have this marking right here. So clearly you can see that the market is coming from down here. So it's trying to move up here. So at the moment, the market, we have a roadblock. The market has rejected at this zone 2 times. So if you remember last week, part 1, we did the analysis and I said that the market is going to react on these 2 zones. So at first it reacted on this zone, it dropped few pips, then it reacted from this zone down here. We had a zone at this point around here. We are on 30-minute time frame. It reacted from this zone on a lower time frame. Then it flied from this zone, it went all the way up here. So it reacted from this zone last week. It dropped. Yeah, last week part one, it reacted from this zone. It has dropped up to this zone. Remember, I marked for you guys this one right here. So it reacted from this zone. So it's all the way up there. So last week, I remember marking two zones. I told you where it's going to react from. So I marked this zone. This is the zone I marked. Then I marked this zone. I said it's going to react from this zone. That's before news though. I said it's going to react from this zone. So, and I told you guys, if I did not told you to, I did not tell you to enter. I just marked the zone and I told this a buy zone. Though I did not use this time frame. I just went ahead and 15-minute time frame. I marked these zones. So guys, I told you if the market comes to this zone, you can enter buy at that zone. This was a zone of interest. You can enter buy at this zone. And then I told you guys you can enter sell at this zone. So whoever entered buy at this zone, you are just supposed to break even. So the first thing you could have done is just to break even and wait at this zone until you have a confirmation for entry. Guys, I told you the confirmation of entry, you must have divergence and SNLC2. So SNLC2, I'm going to explain to you what it means. So this way, but when at this point there is no divergence, that's why it broke through this zone, went to the other zone up there. So whoever who traded from this zone, they made a good profit. They made around 300 pips profit. So let's do the analysis for this week. And for those who are like joining for the first time, actually this zone, we just try to keep everything simple. So number one, we are using three strategies. So number one, we are using divergence, SNLC2 and SNLC1. We combine it with stochastic. So divergence is used hand in hand with stochastic. So in H1, we are going to mark our candle right here. In H4, we are going to mark a candle, and H1, you can see we have already a demand zone at this point. So we just mark this zone. Yeah, we are going to mark that zone. And then on H1, we have marked this zone. This is the zone of interest we are looking at the moment, that up there. So this market, this is the zone we are looking at the moment. Then we have this zone right here. Depending on how the market will open on today, depending on how the market will open. So this one, and remember the market has already tried to react from this zone right here. Yeah, the market is trying to react from that zone right there. So this is what I'm expecting. If the market comes back and then, yeah, right here, like this. So if the market comes back to this zone right here, if the market comes back to this zone, drops to this zone, and then goes back. Okay, sure, I'll go ahead and check. So if the market comes to this zone and then goes back, then comes back to break this zone, then we are going to target it at this point. So if it breaks this zone, this is our target. Today when the market opens, so if it breaks this zone I've marked, if it breaks this zone, this is our target. So again, if it breaks this zone, goes ahead, then it breaks this zone right here. If it breaks this zone, this will be our target up there. As simple as that. And again, when it breaks this zone, you don't just go ahead and enter your trade just like that. You must have divergence. It must combine with divergence with stochastic. So if stochastic is having hidden divergence and it has broken, like if it breaks, then it comes back and then stochastic is on oversold. And then here we're having a hidden divergence. Then you can go ahead and enter your buy at this point. But if it breaks this zone obviously when it will break this zone, it will just break it like this. It has to go back to retest. So it will come back to retest at that point. So when it will test, then it will drop. So at this point right here, at this point right here, that's where we are going to look for our divergence. So that's where we are going to, you just make our horizontal line and then wait for the stochastic to come all the way up to this point. Wait for the stochastic to come down here, then it goes back to this point. So you wait for the stochastic to come to this point. And then this one right here, your stochastic will be around at this point. Then it will form something like hidden divergence. So if it goes back like that, then it forms hidden divergence. That's where you can enter your sell. That's when you can enter your sell at this point. So this week we are just looking for the breakout. When the market opens, that don't just enter your trade like, oh, the market has opened, let me enter buy, let me do this. No, just be patient. If you see our setups, usually I send buy limit or sell limit. It's all about patience. But when the market comes there, there's high chances that it's going to be in profit. So it's good to be patient with the market. Just wait and see what's going to happen. So next week, this is what we are expecting. If it comes to this zone, the market right now, you see it's trying to play in this zone. So if this market comes to this zone, if it reacts from this zone, our target will be, okay, in this zone, if it reacts, it may perform candle and gap. No, we have divergence actually. You can see actually it's trying to form divergence. So if it comes to EMA 50, you see here we are trying to have divergence. You can see it clearly. This is hidden divergence. So if this market comes to this zone, and then we have this hidden divergence, let me see. Okay, right here. So we wait for this one to come all the way to oversold. So if this one comes to the oversold, yeah, like this one, it comes to the oversold. And then we have the hidden divergence now. So this is the hidden divergence. The market goes lower, low, and then this one will form something like higher, higher to this point like this. So if it forms something like that, the market comes to this point, it forms something like that. We are going to end our buy at this point. And then we'll target, our target profit is up here, around how many pips? So it's up to you on how you want to trade. So if it comes to this point, then it will be around 50 pips. So we'll take our profit at around 50 pips up here. Our main aim, if we want to catch all the trades, I mean, more pips, wait for the breakout. We'll just look for London. We'll look for London or New York session. We wait for the breakout. So if there's a breakout, the market will just come all the way down here. If there's a breakout, the market will go all the way up there. So if there's a breakout here, we'll be looking at around 300, around almost 400 pips. So if there's a breakout down here, there will be a breakout at this point. We'll be looking for around 175 pips, around 178 pips. So the main thing here, we are just going to look at the breakout and then we combine it with divergence. So again, you have to look for SNLC setup. So like this one right here, the one I've told you that if it comes back to this point, then it goes up. So you can see if it comes to this point, you'll be having hidden divergence because by the time it will be in here, this one will be down here. So by the time the market comes in here, we are going to filter it out. So we are going to move this one like this, and then we move this one like this. You can see we have SNLC one setup. So we just put it that way, so it will be clear with us. So that's SNLC one setup. So you see we have resistance, we have the breakout, and then we have the demand zone in the same zone. So the market is trying to come to this zone. So when it comes to this zone, that's why you enter your buy. So first you have to wait. Patience is the key. Don't chase the market. Just if you see that it's trying to go up, no, just relax. Have those two target zones. Wait for the breakout or wait until it comes to this zone to enter your buy if there is a confirmation for divergence. So enter your buy or wait for the breakout, then let's target down here. That's on my when the market opens. Okay, so when the market opens, that's what we are targeting. Don't just the market. So if you have a question, you can just go ahead and write, or you can ask any question before we proceed. Scammers guy. Hillary, what do you mean? If you have any question, you can just go ahead and ask on the chat. Hillary, what do you mean by writing? And I don't understand your text, your chat. Okay, guys, that's okay. So how do you draw zones of interest? So let's look at this. Right now, because I've already marked on gold, let's look for a different pair. So let me take Euro USD. So here we have in Euro USD. I'll start from a daily time frame. The first thing you must understand the direction of the market. When we're having Euro USD, you can see we're having momentum candles. So this one is a momentum candle. This one is a momentum candle. For those who have unmuted, this you can mute. So we have momentum candles. That's the first thing you're supposed to look at. So this is a momentum candle, this is a momentum candle. That's it. So the next thing you see the direction of the market. So what's the trend? So at this point, you can see the moving average is above the price. So this one is a clear indication that it's a downtrend. So that's it. So we have identified those two. We have identified those two key concepts which will show us where the direction is moving, the direction where the market is moving. So now that's a day on a H4 time frame. Because we are intraday, we do our analysis up to date because we are just intraday. But if you are a swing trader, you can just use weekly, you can use daily and H4. But for me, I'm an intraday, maximum I go is daily. So daily H4, H1. So after identifying that one, and then you look for the stochastic, you see it's down there. So now we look for the roadblocks. Roadblocks is a supply and a demand zone. If the market swing down, we are going to look for a roadblock, which is a supply zone. But when we have a supply zone, that's our zone of interest. Like this one here, on 4-hour time frame, this is our zone of interest. So when you mark your zone of interest, then you extend your zone of interest. You just extend it to the left. You'll see that we're having a strong support there. So support and resistance is on the same, support and supply is on the same level. When they are on the same level, that's SNRC1 setup. So this is SNRC1 setup. So what am I supposed to do next? So once you mark this zone, next you are going to wait for divergence. You are going to look for divergence. So you have marked your zone. You have known that the direction of the market is a downtrend. So just wait for this stochastic. You wait for the market to come to this zone right here. So all you need to do is just wait for the market to come to this zone. Wait for this stochastic to come all the way up to the offer board right here. So once the stochastic comes to this point, and then the market has already moved all the way to this point. This one has already moved all the way to this point. So it could have formed something like divergence. So this market will come all the way maybe up to this point. It will form hidden divergence. So number one, we have SNLC1. Number two, if the market comes to this point, we'll be having something like this. Lower low, lower, higher low, then this one we are having. So something like that, higher high. So that's hidden divergence. So this one we call it hidden divergence. So when the market comes to this zone, I'll just ask you to enter for sell. Why? This is a strong zone. First it's a SNLC1 and note that it's a downtrend. And then we are having hidden divergence. There's a likelihood that the market is going to have a reversal at this point. And if you want to minimize your losses, and if you want to have a further confidence or further confidence, you can just go ahead and wait for the reversal pattern to be formed here by going to a lower time frame. You just go to a lower time frame and try to see at this point if we have a double top pattern or we have a cross model shape at this point. But if the market comes at this point and then the first cut, the 4-hour candle is going to reject it and it closes below this level right here, then just take you can take your trade and just put your stop loss just a few pips above, around 20 to 30 pips or 30 to 40 pips above this zone. Then you wait, your first take profit. Usually you ask me, where do I take the profit? Your first take profit should be down. So this way you take your first take profit. And again, remember we are trading in direction of the trend. So usually you say, where do we have to take profit? So number one, if you are using my strategy to trade, your first take profit is down here. And then if you open 3 trades, if you open, maybe you have 3 lots in place. So you can close 2 lots at this point, then move your stop loss to break even around here. So just move your stop loss from up here, just put it here, and then leave the trade to continue running. Because we are trading, we are following the trend. So there's a likelihood that the market will continue following the direction. So when you are, if you have three lots, just close 2 of them, leave 1 to continue running, and then break even. Even if it comes back to your stop loss, still you are in profit. So, but if it continues going in your way, still you'll make more profit. So that's how simple it is. So look at this one. Let's look at this pair. Let's look at this zone, I mean. So you can see at this point, before the market reacted, you can see at this point, right? You can see on H4, the market reacted from this zone right here. The market reacted from that zone. There's a reason why it reacted from that zone. So number one, if I'm using divergence, if I'm using stochastic, you can see we have hidden divergence. That's the first thing. You can see we have hidden divergence. This is very clear. This is hidden divergence. We have a lower low, higher low, and then this one we have higher high. That's hidden divergence. So once you understand we have that hidden divergence, that's the first confirmation. So now we are looking for SNLC setup. So SNLC, you look for SNLC1 or SNLC2 setup. So we are going to look for SNLC setup. So at this point right here, I will go to 1 hour time frame. In 1 hour time frame, you can see we have a strong support here. This is a strong support. We have a breakout. So this one we call it SPR, not even SNLC1. This one we call it SPR. Support become resistance. So this is SPR. If we put it on a line chart, you can see this is a strong support. We have a breakout at this point, then we have a retest here. Support become resistance, SPR. Simple as that. So when we have a breakout, we have a retest, and we have a hidden divergence, then you can just go ahead and take your trade. You can just, that's why this market from this point, whoever entered sell here, they just took all this one. So when they entered sell here, this is where they will take out their first profit at this point. Right down here. That's why you take your first take profit. And once you take your first take profit, you break even, then the market will continue going down. But when you look at this point again, this coming week, this is where we are again targeting the market. So the market can come up to this point. I've already told you that. So when it comes to this point, already you can see we have a hidden divergence. This is hidden divergence. These are clear hidden divergence. So the market is trying to react from this zone, but you cannot, even if we have this one here already, this one is overbought. You don't just enter your trade just like that. No, you'll just wait until it comes to SNRC setup or SPR setup. So just wait for it to come all the way to this point. Once it's at this point, this is where we are going to enter ourselves. So the coming week, if you want to mark the zone, just mark this one I've marked. We are going to watch Euro USD from that zone. This is the zone we are going to watch it from. So if it comes to that zone, if it reacts from this zone, it's going to drop. It will continue dropping. By that time, you will find that this market, actually you see I already marked it on H4. So this market will have come all the way up here because this SNLC1 setup. Yeah. So if is your stochastic in default? No, the stochastic setting is 933. So use 933. Instead of 5533, just use 933, and the method is simple. The method is simple, use 933. So guys, another thing when you are trading, just don't complicate it, just make it simple. This week I've told you the zones we are going to watch. For Euro USD, we are going to watch this zone. For gold, these are the zones I have already shared with you. These are the zones our zones of interest. So these are the zones of interest. We are going to watch this zone. Then we are going to watch this zone right here. So these are our zones of interest. Then we are going to watch this zone up here. So if the market breaks this zone, in short, this is what we will be having. If it breaks this zone, we'll have something like this. It will retest. Then it will fly out to that zone up there, almost 400 pips. But if it breaks this zone right here, it will just drop almost 175 pips up to this zone. Again, you don't just enter your trade just like that. Wait for the confirmation. And if you want to trade, if it comes to this zone right here, and then it wants to come back to this zone, wait for the divergence. I told you guys, you wait for it to come in here, and this one could have been down here. By that time, it could have been moved up to this point. So then we could have a clear divergence. So the moment we have that divergence, you enter your buy at this zone, you take your profit up here. Because that's it, maybe it will be moving on sideways movement. So that's what we'll be looking at. So if it comes to this zone, again, use a tight stop loss. When it's moving sideways, just use a tight stop loss. But when it breaks this zone, our stop loss just usually, it will be above around here, around 5 to 10 pips. Above this zone. Yeah, guys, if you have any other question, you can go ahead and ask. Why don't we trade the other pairs? It's only gold. Okay, before I used to trade all pairs, I remember I put a poll on the channel, and most people said we trade only gold. That's why most of the time I usually send signals for gold. But I'll start sending, if you want us to trade other pairs, I'll send other pairs, though I'll be sending only matchup pairs. So I can continue sending the signals for other pairs too. But usually I've been sending on poll because on the poll, most people said they want us to trade gold. That's why. Do you use buy stop and sell stop news? Yeah, sometimes I do that. Moisson NFP news. Yeah, guys, do you have another question? I'm going to drop that soon in a few minutes. So if you have any question, I think in 5 minutes it's going to 3 minutes actually it's going to drop. So if you have any question, you can just go ahead and ask right now.
Ben.
Yeah.
For example, useme mtu mwenye ajui nini mambo mingi ya forex, akiingia sema ameroad trade viewers ama
Trading.
trading chart hiyo ya kuangalia hizi, hii unatumia ni MetaTrader ama
Yeah, this MetaTrader, this my chart, I've set it that way.
so tuseme mtu anataka within 2 hours
Yeah,
at least umepata at least 10 bips ama nini ama maximum of 40 nini pips.
yeah.
Mtu anaweza analyze aje yani, mtu anaweza analyze aje uangalie uone ni utafanya aje ndio at least 40 pips.
So what you are asking,
Ukiingia.
if you are only trading on gold, you are asking about scalping. When you are doing scalping, you are trading only on 15-minute time frame, maximum 30 minutes time frame, and if you go all the way far, it's 1 hour time frame. So mostly you are
Yeah.
trading on 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame. When you are trading on those 2 time frames, you are supposed to do your analysis. You are supposed to start your analysis on H1. So for instance, I'm going to use a different pair which I have not marked, maybe GBP USD. So if you are doing scalping, and scalping, you must be very fast when executing your trades, all that. You start from H1, okay? So you look at H1. I'm going to prefer because the Zoom is going to drop in and I will not create another Zoom. So this one, when you are doing the analysis for this one, you start from H1. On H1, you mark the last candle. So you are going to mark this candle because you are doing analysis. So you mark the second last candle. You just mark this candle. It will give you the highs of the previous 1 hour. So then you go to 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame, you can see we have a highs right here. So this is high and this another high. So this is a clear, simple way of doing the analysis. So from here, you can see the market is coming from this zone right here. So if it's coming from up there, you are going to move to 5-minute time frame. Then it will give you the easiest way to mark where the market is going. So from here, you are going to draw your just simple trend line. This is the easiest way to trade though, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to be 100%. So because it's scalping. So you are going to draw your trend line just like that. And then you draw your trend line from this point like this. So wherever we are having a breakout, this way you enter breakout, retest is where you are going to enter your sell, then the take profit is going to be down the previous low. Simple start. That's when you are doing scalping. Because scalping is very fast. So you use 1 hour candle to do that. Let me show you another. Let me use a different pen. You see what I mean. So first what you're supposed to do, you go to H1, mark the second last candle. This one right here. This is the second last candle. This is the second last candle, up and the bottom. So you just mark it this way. Yeah. You just mark it that way. Then you go to 5-minute time frame. Just go direct to 5-minute time frame. Then draw your trend line. So you go ahead, you draw your trend line this way. That's it. Whenever if you have a breakout on this trend line, you enter your pie, then you draw another trend line from this point. You draw your trend line. So when you are going to have a breakout on this one, you exit your trade. That's the easiest way to do scalping. I'm not involving SNRC1, SNRC2 divergence. No, I'm just using this one. And this one, remember to use current strength meter too. It will help you. So that's how you do scalping. Though I don't do scalping that much. So I've shown you the easiest way to trade using a trend line breakout and only one candle. If you are doing scalping, just use 1 hour time frame. I'm new. I had a problem logging with what might be the problem. It's only because you are using a different server.